Something is shifting in Virgin River, and if you blink, you might miss the moment everything begins to break apart. The Season 8 trailer doesn't just tease new drama, it feels like a warning that nothing in this town will stay the same again. The calm that once defined Virgin River is cracking, and beneath it is a wave of emotions, secrets, and decisions that could change every life forever. Season 8 steps into a version of Virgin River that feels heavier, more emotional, and more unpredictable than before. This is no longer just a small town where people come to heal quietly. Now it feels like a place where healing comes with a price. Every smile hides pressure, every silence hides fear, and every relationship is standing on a line that could break at any second. The trailer builds this feeling slowly, showing that what once felt safe is now filled with tension that no one can ignore anymore. At the center of it all is Mel Monroe, and her journey feels more emotionally complex than ever. She is no longer just trying to rebuild her life. She is trying to hold it together while everything around her keeps shifting. The trailer hints at a deep emotional struggle inside her, where hope and fear exist at the same time. She has fought through loss before, but this time it feels different. This time the decisions she faces are not just about healing her own heart, but about shaping an entire future that she may not feel fully ready for. There is a quiet weight in her expressions, as if she is constantly thinking about what comes next and whether she can truly trust the stability she has built. And then there is Jack Sheridan, a man who has always tried to be the strong foundation for everyone around him. But Season 8 seems to push him into a different space, where strength is no longer enough. The trailer suggests that Jack is carrying more pressure than ever before, not just as a partner, but as someone trying to protect a future that feels uncertain. His calm presence begins to show cracks, not in a dramatic way, but in small moments that reveal exhaustion and emotional strain. It feels like he is standing at a point where every decision matters, and even his best intentions may not be enough to hold everything together. What makes this season feel so powerful is not just the individual struggles, but the emotional distance forming between moments of connection. Even when characters are together, there is a sense that something is changing beneath the surface. Conversations feel heavier, silence feels longer, and every look between characters carries meaning that words cannot express. The trailer carefully builds this atmosphere, showing that love in Virgin River is no longer simple. It is being tested in ways that demand honesty, patience, and sacrifice. This opening part of Season 8 sets the tone for something deeply emotional and possibly heartbreaking. It is not just about what is happening on the surface, but about what is building underneath every interaction. The town still looks familiar, still peaceful on the outside, but emotionally it feels like a storm is forming that no one is fully prepared for. And as the trailer closes its first emotional impressions, it becomes clear that Virgin River is stepping into its most intense chapter yet, where every choice carries consequences and every heart is being pushed closer to its limit. Mel Monroe's emotional journey in Season 8 feels like it has reached a turning point where silence speaks louder than words. The trailer suggests that she is no longer just reacting to life as it comes, but instead standing at a place where every decision carries long-term weight. There is a clear sense that Mel is being pulled between what her heart wants and what her reality demands. This conflict is not loud or dramatic in the surface sense, but deeply emotional, shown through her expressions, her pauses, and the way she looks at the people she loves. It feels like she is constantly thinking, constantly questioning whether the life she has built in Virgin River is truly stable or just temporarily calm before another storm arrives. What makes Mel's journey so powerful this season is how layered her emotional struggle has become. In earlier seasons, her pain was more connected to healing from the past. But now, the trailer suggests something different. She is not only healing, she is also responsible for building a future that affects more than just herself. This creates a pressure that quietly follows her in every scene. Even when things look peaceful around her, there is a sense that her mind is somewhere else, trying to prepare for outcomes she cannot fully control. It feels like she is standing in a space where hope exists, but so does fear, and both are fighting for dominance inside her. There are also hints in the trailer that Mel may be facing emotional choices connected to family, motherhood, or personal stability. These themes have always been part of her story, but Season 8 seems to push them into a more serious direction. It is no longer about dreaming of a peaceful life. It is about deciding what that peaceful life actually looks like and whether it is even possible in the world she is living in. The emotional weight of these decisions is reflected in how carefully she speaks, how often she pauses before reacting, and how she sometimes chooses silence instead of explanation. That silence feels important. It shows that not everything she feels can be easily shared anymore. At the same time, the trailer gives a strong sense that Mel is trying to hold herself together for the sake of others. She has always been someone who supports people emotionally, but now it feels like she is the one who needs support the most. Yet, she continues to stand strong, almost as if she believes that showing weakness could cause everything around her to collapse. This creates a powerful emotional contrast. Inside, she is uncertain and overwhelmed, but outside, she is still trying to be steady and dependable. That contrast is what makes her arc in Season 8 so compelling, because it shows a very human struggle between internal emotion and external responsibility. Another important layer in Mel's story this season is her relationship with time. The trailer gives the impression that she feels time is moving faster than she is ready for. Decisions cannot be delayed forever, conversations cannot be avoided, and emotions cannot stay unspoken for long. There is a pressure building around her life that forces her to confront things directly instead of holding them inside. This creates a quiet tension in every moment she appears on screen, as if she knows that whatever she chooses next will shape not just her present, but her entire future. What stands out most in this section of the trailer analysis is how Mel's journey is no longer just about surviving emotional pain, it is about choosing what kind of life she wants to live. Even if that choice comes with sacrifice, she is standing at a crossroads where comfort, love, fear, and responsibility all collide. And the trailer makes it clear that whatever direction she chooses, it will not come without consequences. Jack Sheridan's story in Season 8 carries a different kind of emotional weight. One that feels quieter on the surface, but heavier underneath. The trailer presents him as someone who is still trying to be the strong center of everything, but the cracks in that strength are becoming harder to hide. Jack has always been the kind of person who steps forward when others fall apart, but this season suggests that even he is reaching a point where holding everything together is starting to cost him more than he expected. There is a clear shift in how Jack is shown in the trailer. He is still protective, still caring, still deeply connected to the people he loves, but the energy around him feels different. It is no longer just about solving problems or being the dependable partner. Now it feels like he is carrying emotional weight from every direction at once. His relationship, his responsibilities, and his personal goals all seem to be pulling him in different directions. And the trailer subtly shows that this constant pressure is starting to affect his peace of mind. One of the most important elements of Jack's journey this season is the idea of emotional exhaustion. He is not breaking down in dramatic ways, but in small, almost unnoticeable moments. A pause before answering a question. A look that lasts a second too long. A silence that feels heavier than words. These details suggest that Jack is no longer operating from a place of simple strength, but from a place where strength itself is being tested. It feels like he is trying to remain stable for everyone else, even when his own foundation is not as steady as it used to be. His relationship with Mel also appears to enter a more complicated emotional phase. The trailer does not show open conflict in a loud way, but instead hints at emotional distance created by pressure and responsibility. It feels like both of them are trying their best, but life is pushing them into situations where communication becomes harder and emotional understanding requires more effort. Jack, in particular, seems to struggle with expressing what he is carrying inside. He is a man who acts more than he speaks, and this season that silence becomes more meaningful. It suggests that there are things he is not saying, not because he does not care, but because he is trying to protect others from his own worries. Another important layer in Jack's arc is his role as a protector, not just in relationships, but in life overall. He has always taken responsibility seriously, but Season 8 appears to increase that burden. Whether it is his business, his family responsibilities, or his emotional connection to the town, everything seems to demand something from him at the same time. The trailer gives the impression that Jack is constantly in motion, constantly solving, constantly managing, but rarely stopping to deal with what he himself is feeling. That imbalance creates a quiet tension in his character, as if he is giving everything outward while slowly neglecting what is happening inward. What makes this season particularly interesting for Jack is that his strength is no longer just an advantage. It is becoming a challenge. The same qualities that make him reliable also make him vulnerable, because he rarely allows himself the space to fall apart or even pause. The trailer suggests that Season 8 will test whether Jack can continue to be the emotional anchor for everyone else without losing himself in the process. It raises an important question about how long someone can carry responsibility before it begins to change who they are. There is also a subtle emotional undercurrent in how Jack views his future. He is not just reacting to present challenges anymore. He seems to be thinking ahead, trying to prepare for outcomes that are not fully visible yet. That forward-thinking mindset adds another layer of pressure, because it means he is always anticipating problems before they arrive. Instead of living moment to moment, he appears to be living in a space where he is constantly preparing for what could go wrong. That creates a quiet but powerful emotional strain that runs through his character in this season. Overall, Jack's journey in this section of the trailer feels like a study of endurance. Not dramatic collapse, not sudden change, but the slow and silent pressure of being the person everyone depends on. Season 8 seems ready to explore what happens when that kind of strength is stretched too far, and whether even the strongest hearts eventually need support they are not used to asking for.